Manchester United, bloody hell. What a thrilling match. Was it against Bournemouth at Old Trafford? Oh my god. I think for the neutral fans of Premier League, it was an ultimate classic. 8 goals, no winner, points shared between their teams, and what a game. But as a fan of Manchester United, you could only wonder, even after playing so well. And I guess this was, not guess, I am pretty sure this was the best start of Manchester United under Ruben Amorim in any game, literally in any game. I mean, the first half was really like there were continuous waves after waves of attack from the minute one. One can argue that after conceding the first goal, Bournemouth were little bit may started to have some sort of control, not control, but they were trying to create something, and they also got the goal. But before that, United like literally they choked them with this that continuous fury of attacks. But the second half, and if you see, United also conceded the goals in very like two. They conceded 3 goals in the second half, but all those the 2 goals was like in I think in between the space of 7 minutes, we conceded 2 goals from Bournemouth. So clearly, you can see that there is a lapse of focus in the defense, and in today's match when we scored, then we conceded so many goals, like 4 goals in a conceding 4 goals in home is like really bad for our defense. And Bournemouth have been scoring 3+ goals in at Old Trafford in past 3 seasons. So you can tell that we are not very much comfortable playing against Bournemouth at our home. And yes, the major talking point would be the change in the system. That was not a change, I would say. Like Ruben Amorim has been doing this 4-4-2 system. When we are attacking, I have mentioned it before in my videos also that I think in the first game against Arsenal also we were trying to do this thing, like when we have the ball and we have the possession, we are attacking in sometimes like in 4-4-2 and sometimes the formation of 4-3-3. And majorly we were shifting to the 3-5-2, or you can say 5-3-2 in the defensive phases when we were trying to defend. But yesterday, like it was a very fluid system that Ruben was using. But in yesterday's game, the difference was, I think, the duration for which we used that formation, because I think we stayed in that backline for a longer duration as compared to the previous matches. This is not. The point I am trying to convey is that it is not the first time like he has done this. We are seeing this back four while trying to attack. He has been doing this in the games, but that was for, you can say, for very smaller durations. But yesterday he kept with that formation for majority of the game, and even during the defense also we weren't like shifting into 3 or 5 like who was the driver. Ahmad was not like very much coming down very deep, because we had Yoro, Shaw, and Aiden Heaven. So the Aiden Heaven and Shaw played as the centre backs, and Yoro shifted to the right, and Diallo was to the left. So yesterday the stark difference was the duration and the defensive setup through which we conceded 4 goals. But one can say that we got the reward of scoring 4 goals, but you can see that we easily conceded the 4 goals also. But the thing is that this might change when we have De Ligt and Maguire back as our centre backs. Even though Licha is back, but Licha is not up to the pace right now. You can see that he lacks the sharpness. And so let's see some moments from the game. So from minute of when we started to push them backwards to their goal, and this was, I think, the attempt from the Mason Mount from his weaker foot, and Mbeumo was the player who crossed this ball, I guess. and this was the goal in the 13th minute by the very and this, yes, the thing that I noticed yesterday was, like, I feel that whenever Dello has the ball in the left side when he plays at the left wing position, and when he, cuts the ball and gets the ball in towards his right foot and uses the right foot to deliver the crosses, it seems like, the balls come, the trajectory of the ball is invert, so the crosses are, in my opinion, better from the left wing through Dalot. So, and when he plays in the right wing, and that we saw in the second half, whenever he was delivering the crosses from the right side, the trajectory of the ball is a bit like outward shaping, like the banana, the bended like banana from that side. But those balls are not very effective from Dalot. He crossed, I think, 3-4 times after we conceded the fourth goal, the equalizing goal from the Bournemouth, and after that, I think he put 3-4 crosses from the right side, and they were all very bad. Like, he one or two crosses were way beyond the D from the penalty box. So I think Dello was very good in the first half because he was doing the step overs and beating the defenders like Cristiano, and then this was very similar. He put a really great cross. Very difficult to deal um, with the pace of the ball because you know I think Cunha should have got something. Cunha should have got a header from this cross. He missed it badly, even though you can say that he's not a striker, but even though he's not a striker, he should have at least made some contact with the ball. But I guess this was a fortunate finish for Ramas on the open goal. But he got the hand also. Yes, if that goalkeeper Petrovic didn't get a hand on that ball, it would have either ways gone inside the goal, and that goal would have been for Dello. But he got the hand, and that ball jumped, and it was an easy tap in header for Ahmad. And then again, this was an attempt from Mbeumo from his weaker foot, and easy save. And I think the worst player for United yesterday was Mbeumo. Like, he lost the ball many times, and even the simplest 5 yard, 10 yard passes, he was really missing. That pass is very bad, like really poor accuracy with the passes also, and finishing. Though I am not even talking here because the one chance he missed after that, I think that was a shot from Cunha where he appealed for the handball, but the ball came to Mbeumo, and it was a very, like, you have to bury that chance. It was a tap in, I would say. The ball was not the ground, no, was not in the ground, but it was a slightly above from the ground, and but they are that at that level, at that professional level, you have to score that goal. Yeah, the Momo was like, literally, it would be used by the rival fans as a meme now. The chance he missed, because our United fans started to compare him to the Liverpool great Salah. But I think both are very different. Like, Mbeumo is a very direct player. He's a very physical player. He wins, headers, and he brings that physicality, that running up and down and tracking back, which Mo Salah, we know that Mo Salah doesn't do that. But Mo Salah offers that dribbling, that taking on players, and using that very little spaces to uh, douse from the keepers and from the defenders and beat them in that very tight spaces, and creating that very little space to shoot from there and scoring also. And in fact, our player Ahmad is very much similar to, in fact, more similar to Mo Salah than Mbeumo, because I remember yesterday one very good run from Mo Salah, and he literally cut from two players in the penalty box, where he was in very great speed, like he was accelerating in a very great pace, and in that speed he dribbled past two players, and he attempted a shot, but that was a brilliant block by their defender. I mean, but he could manage to beat the defenders and dribble past them in that penalty box, that too with that great pace and with that great acceleration. So I felt that Ahmad is more into dribbling side of Mo Salah, but Mbeumo offers different. He is very direct, and he can play with his header also, and he is more of a physical player, Mo Salah, the Mbeumo. But yeah, yesterday he was definitely, I would say, the lowest rated player. In my ratings, I would say Mbeumo was very bad, because I don't feel very much. I don't feel who were the rest who were like. I think Aiden Heaven could have in the first goal. That was a mistake from his side, and Yoro was also. You can say that defenders were not that great, but in the attack, I would say Mbeumo should have killed the game in the first half only. This was a header in the first attempt, in the first chance of the Bournemouth. After you see 28 minutes, nearly after half an hour, this was the first attempt that they took, and that two on the target and Lemons with it. Yes, this was a good positioning from the Lemons for this header of the Bournemouth player, because in the free kick, many of the fans are criticizing Lemons for his positioning, and rightfully so. Lemons was late and he jumped slightly towards the left as soon as he kicks the ball. Like, he was too early in judging. Yeah, I think he already made that mind. We will discuss later when that comes, when that screenshot comes. Like, this was a really good chance. Like, this was a very delightful ball here from Matheus Cunha. Cunha, I think, was the best player in the attack, I would say, even better than Bruno. Although Bruno scored a free kick and he got an assist, but by this Cunha has a touch of class, man. He is really a baller. That Brazilian flair, he just seems clearly visible in every touches of Cunha. And this ball, I remember this, like this reminded me of that ball from Wayne Rooney to RVP against Aston Villa, where he scored that amazing volley RVP. But that was a really, it was a very, very different, very, very long pass from Wayne Rooney from his own half. But they were combining really great, Cunha and Mbeumo. You can see that a chemistry or a connection is building between these two forward players, and we were using them as a 4-4-2, sometimes 4-4-3, but mainly 4-4-2, and we were seeing that they were trying to find each other very often. So this was a really good reminded me of Wayne Rooney passing this from Cunha, and it was I'm not counting this as a sure shot goal, because it was a really tough technique to score, and Mbeumo was a little behind with that timing of the run, but I cannot criticize this chance, because of this was a difficult. The pace was there in the ball, and guiding it into the net was really difficult. And here comes the first goal. Here, I think Shaw lost the ball very easily, and this semi-ammo, which we are targeting, as the news is coming that we will be targeting for this player in the next season. And he buried it really brilliant shot past Lemons in the far post. I don't think much Lemons could have done much here, because it was a really good shot. Only thing that was a worry for me was this defending by Aiden Heaven. He should have closed that down, because Mount was clearly telling him before with his, he was showing the gesture to come and close him down, because he and Bruno were like really not going to cover the distance, because Seminema is fast and Aiden Heaven was ahead, so he should have covered. But I think Aiden Heaven was hesitating because of this striker, the number 9. He was hesitating to leave him behind, because then Leny Yoro was also far from that striker, and another their left wing also, in this left wing also their player had came. So I think Aiden was in double minded, or was in confusion here whether to come and block the shot or leave that striker open. So it was like, it was a very bad goal to concede for United at that crucial time, because we were expecting United to go 2-0 or 3-0 up in the first half, and we conceded that goal. And after conceding that one goal, then they started to have one more chance and more chances. This was, I think, the deflection from this shot. And this number 16 Trevor, but this player was playing really good. He scored the free kick also. But this was the second goal just before the half-time interval, where another set-piece goal from United. I think that was 12th goal or 13th goal this season that United have scored from the set-piece. Again from the Bruno corner and the far post, similar to what De Ligt scored in the dying moments against, I think that was an away match. I remember that was an away match, and I'm forgetting the team. Like this was similar to that De Ligt goal, far post run, and Casemiro brilliantly guided. And it was difficult for the goalkeeper to judge the bounce, but could have saved that. But we got our goal back, and then in the second half, man, not even 1 minute, in between seconds only. Like, our midfield, this thing with 4-4-2 formation is this. Like, we conceded so many goals, and you can see that we were easily crafted, open, beautifully crafted goal from, they picked beautifully. This was a very good pass, and the last fourth goal also very good pass from their midfielder to the striker, and and you can see that they were all these passes were all the central vertical passes, and so you can see that in 4-4-2 formation, Ruben is that's why not very comfortable because he sees that we can get easily opened by the creative players of the position team because our midfield is not that impact or not that solid. So this was the equalizer for 2-2. The mistake was in the midfield only that we lose the ball in the. I think that was the second ball. I don't know that was the first ball or second ball, but it was all open for them, very open to take a clear shot. And I think this was the free kick. Again, you can see that how easily there are three players and we are going backwards and only two defenders there and three of them are chasing. Diallo, Casemiro, and Bruno. This guy, I think this Casemiro had to do this because left right they were all two players. So any good pass, this would have created the chance for an third goal for them. But we were so unlucky that Casemiro took the yellow card and now is suspended from the next match, which is again Aston Villa, which is in a red hot form, winning I think 5 straight matches in Premier League and 9 undefeated in all competition that they are playing. So like I'm not expecting United to go and win against Aston Villa seriously because now we will be having no African players, no AFCON going players, Ahmad and Mbeumo, and now Casemiro is also suspended, so we have to rely on Kobbie Mainoo. Kobbie, like we have seen yesterday, he's not that great in tracking back and giving that defensive surety to the manager and to the. You can see that as a fan, I can also see that Mainoo doesn't offer that security at the defense. So we will be majorly missing Casemiro. Casemiro was unlucky because he thought he would score, he would stop them from scoring with that challenge, but they scored from the free kick, and I guess Lemons could have done better. Lemons, although did save us from losing the match in the last few minutes of the matches, he saved 2 goals, but here he could have done better. Now this was the third goal here. This was a shot from Cunha from outside the box, and we got a free kick here. And this was a really bad. I think this was a better free kick than the Bournemouth player because it was also on the side of the goalkeeper only, but this was like a top bin. Here also this goalkeeper shifted to his right to the side of the wall, similar to what our goalkeeper did. But here Bruno picked the top bin. What a free kick! Yeah, this was really, amazing. No one could have saved this free kick. Any goalkeeper, top class from Bruno. Yeah. I don't know what would happen if we would have sold Bruno to Saudi in the summer. Brilliant free kick, and this was a fourth goal. And I think this was a really bad pass from Sesko, who got lucky to this Bournemouth defender, he couldn't clear it, and the ball fell in place of Cunha. Yes, and for Cunha it was an open easy goal, but that was a really bad ball from Sesko. So Sesko came after I think missing 4 weeks from that injury, and so it was few good minutes for him. I think Sesko is not great with his feet. Yeah, like he doesn't have that maneuver. He could not maneuver the ball under his feet. Like here also he picked really an awful pass. It was like if it wouldn't have come to the Cunha, Manchester United fans would be shouting and really pissed off from that pass because the space was created, and the run that he made here, he was actually trying to find Ahmad, you can see, but that was a really bad pass. Sesko doesn't seem to be like really good on the ball, like his passing. He's good with the, you can say, like connecting with the players in 5 yards or 10 yards, but this was very bad. And one run I can remember that he was going alone and no one was there, and he started sprinting, attacking, and lost the ball very easily. Whereas if there would have been, like you say, Cunha, he would have controlled the ball, waited for his players to come, and and protected the ball, not only waited, and he also could have protected the ball and then made a move by passing to the incoming players. Where else I remember this Sesko, he just ran like anything and was easily dispossessed by the defenders. This was a short-lived celebration, and you can feel that, yeah. You like even after scoring the fourth goal, I was not sure like we would go on to win because we know what Manchester United are and what these defenders are doing. Like in the game, we have already conceded third goal, and again, see here I think we lost the ball in the in our own half. And here I would say that even, like if you see the goal, the highlights of this last goal, Kobbie Mainoo was, I think ball was lost here, and then they started move from this side, and Kobbie Mainoo was he was more backwards to our defense. He was more behind, and Bruno was more towards the towards the attacking side and more towards the upside of the pitch. And see after losing the ball, how Bruno sprinted back and tried to come and attack the and try to cover the space in the midfield. But even though this Mainoo, he was behind, he was like jogging. Yeah, he was not sprinting to get back. And I think this is where Amorim is really pissed off with Mainoo, because he has said this thing also in the interview in his press conferences, that Mainoo is sometimes very slow and sometimes he's very fast. So in the defensive phase, you can see that he just starts to jog, when he doesn't sprint backwards to get the ball. I think this is more because he is very good with the ball. Mainoo, the main thing, the main characteristic of which highlights Mainoo is that he is very good with his feet. So he can maneuver and do the dribbling side and take on players and even holding the ball and that sort of thing. Like to do thing with the ball, he is great in that. But yeah, and like yesterday also he combined that very well with the Cunha for a particular play which I can remember, where he opened a space for Sesko to run. Like that was a good play. So he is very good in attacking sense, I would say. Like he's not a defensive midfielder. Yeah, you cannot Mainoo and Bruno. That's why they will be. This would be a worry for me if they start against Aston Villa, because Mainoo doesn't provide that defensive coverage which obviously our defensive midfielder Casemiro provides. So I think Mainoo will get benched in the next game also. Maybe he would prefer Ugarte alongside Bruno, because that he is not. I think the main virtue of Kobbie is he's more of an attack minded midfielder, more of an ball who can carry a ball, who can dribble past 1 2 3 players and put a through ball in for a striker. So this is where the thing he's lacking. That's why he's not starting for in place of Casemiro, because he is not a defensive midfielder. Like this, we have to agree. Yeah. Even if he is, like, you can say, a home graduate from Carrington, but yeah, this thing he can never play as a DM, in my opinion, in a pivot position especially. So like he needs a coverage. Like Mainoo needs a coverage from, let's say, a player like Ugarte who can cover, but Ugarte's form is very bad also. So he's also not starting. I think Mainoo is a dilemma for a manager. And this was a goal that in the 84th minute we conceded. Again, so much space. Yeah, Aiden Heaven should have closed him down here. Yoro and Aiden Heaven, I would say, in the back had a very average game. Shaw did a mistake for the first goal, but Shaw was very good at pressing. By he is really good at pressing the striker, and he, like we have seen in many matches, like he goes to the half line and even to the opposition half sometimes, and also wins the ball pressing the striker. So yesterday, I think the defense disappointed, but the attack was so good that it felt it didn't felt like a defeat, but it didn't felt very good, because it didn't feel very good because we should have won. Yeah, I mean, what more our attackers need to do? Even after scoring 4 goals, like we are conceding 4. So definitely one can say that the defenders were at fault. But now the modern football, it is you attack as a unit and defense as a unit. So cannot say that it was just the defenders. So yeah, very entertaining match watching late at night. Was a worth it match to watch as a fan. but would have been better if we got the 3 points. Let's see what happens next against Aston Villa now.